What are you looking at? I pace. I pace because it is preferable to simply sitting in the dirt and doing nothing. Rather like someone I know. Would you prefer that I simply sit and do nothing? Oh, I beg your pardon. Then what is it you are doing? Listening to the earth. I am laughing because that is truly ridiculous. Your kind have no skill in listening to the earth. That is a skill of my people. Of any people other than yourselves. All you listen to are the sounds of the screams and wails and pleading of your victims. Listening to the earth. Do you think yourself an elf? Oh, I beg your pardon. Then please, oh orc sage, tell me what you hear. I do not care what your name is. I will call you what I please. Consider yourself fortunate that I do not call you exactly what you are. A lying, cheating, thieving, conniving, evil little cretin. I do not need to know anything about you. I know everything I require to form my opinion of you. And it is as I said. You are scum. You are filth. You are dirt. You are beneath me. Oh, have I angered you? Then do forgive me. Allow me to return to my, what did you call it? Ceaseless pacing. And leave you to your listening to the earth. Wait a moment. What is that? Wait, that is a gap. That is a tunnel. I wonder. It is small enough. It is. I may be able to climb through that. I wonder how far it goes. Very narrow, though. I wonder if it is possible to make it wider. There must be a way. Perhaps if I use my sword, I can... What? You have found an escape route. What, simply by sitting and listening to the earth? Very well, very well. What have you found? That is nothing. We saw that earlier. It is simply a hole in the ground. And it is filled with water. It is nothing more than a puddle. Oh. And you believe it leads away from this area? How far? And how can you possibly know that? Very well. I will make the attempt. I will see you in a moment or two when I hit the wall no more than 3 feet from where we stand. Pathetic. Do not touch my sword, nor my gear. Why are you looking at me like that? Do you honestly expect me to travel into water while wearing all of this armor? I would sink like a stone, much like yourself. No, if I am to swim, I must be light and unburdened. Therefore, I will leave my armor here. And what exactly are you going to do with it? It will not fit you. It is elven silver, too. I imagine it would burn you were you to touch it. Let's see. The water is cold. Very well. Allow me a moment to see what I may. By all the gods, I believe he is right. I cannot see how far this tunnel goes, but it certainly leads away from that place. Perhaps we can swim through it, perhaps we can come out into a larger area. Perhaps it even leads to the surface. Oh! Well, despite my better judgment, it appears you are right. I believe this tunnel will lead far away from... What's wrong with you? Why are you looking at me like that? I don't know what you mean. I was under for no longer than a minute or two. Oh. You mean to say that you cannot hold your breath for so long? Nor can you swim. Oh, interesting. Large, mighty beast that you are, afraid of a little water. Afraid you might get clean. Afraid you may wash away your stench. Forgive me, No, you are toying with me. That cannot possibly be true. Your kind do not marry. You are barbaric. You know nothing of the ways of love. And you mean to tell me that your wife, your beloved, drowned? I am sorry. That cannot be easy to... How long ago? So short a time. But if your kind cannot swim, what was she doing in the water? A child? A fine story, but I do not believe it. Your kind are selfish and cruel. Not for one moment could I believe that one of your kind would sacrifice themselves for a child. That is my sword. You dare raise my sword against me? You beast. You disgusting... I will not. I have no reason to take back what is simply the truth. Fine. I take it back. I retract my words. Please. I retract my words. And I apologize. No. We are not in the habit of making light of another's pain, but you... Very well. I am sorry. No, truly, I understand what it is like to lose someone you love. I should not have made light of your pain. No, be you elf, human, dwarf, orc, it matters not. I see that now. The expression in your eyes, your passion. You loved your wife, and I have no right to make light of that. Thank you. May I have my sword? Thank you. Will you tell me about her? No, your wife. She seemed like a kind soul. To give herself up so selfishly to save the life of a child. Reminds me of my... Yes, my mother, she did something similar. I always wanted to be a soldier. I was adamant I would serve in the King's Guard, and my mother, being a gentle type, wished I would do anything else. But she was fierce, and nothing stopped her from fighting for me. So one day when I became lost on an excursion with some friends, she came to find me. It was a place not entirely dissimilar to this, if I am to be truthful. We found a cave, my companions and I, and made a game of digging deeper and traveling further into the depths of this cold, dark stone crevice in the earth. But we traveled too far, we traveled too deep, and lost our way in the caverns. We had no light, we had no food. We were lost. And likely we would have remained lost if not for my mother. She gathered many others of our small village and brought them to find us. And she was the one to find me. I had become separated from my friends. The glow lichen upon the walls that we had used to light our way had faded, and I was alone. So alone. Crushing dark. No air upon my face, no sight of the sky. No feel of the sun's warmth, no glow from the full moon. Just dark. And out of that darkness, she came and carried me back into the light. Yes, I would give much to see her now, to see her come through one of these walls and return me to the light. But she is not here. It is merely you and me. There is no help coming for us. Listen. We can swim out the way you found. No, we can. I have explored it. I have seen the tunnel travel some distance away from here. All we need to do is follow it until we come out into a larger cavern. The water is moving. It has flow. Therefore, it is going somewhere. We can follow it. Well, would you prefer to stay here? No, the tunnel is more than large enough for the pair of us. We can swim through. I can guide you. Or I may swim ahead and perhaps send help back for you. You think so little of me. You truly believe that I would swim away and leave you here. That is fair. I know you would do the same. Very well. There is a gap over here. Come. In the ceiling, do you see? It is narrow and tight, but with the width of your shoulders and the strength in your arms, I imagine we could clear a path and travel out that way. Most of the area around it is loose. Therefore, it should be easy to move with our combined efforts. Yes, it is very dark and very narrow, but what choice do we have left? Then what are we to do? There are 2 routes out of this place, and one of them must work. Look, here. Do you see that boulder directly above? Stand on the left and just shift it. Shift it down. Yes, it will make the passage wide enough for us both to fit through. And then we can see what follows. Is this your earth listening again? Is it speaking to you? It is perfectly safe. Fine. Then I shall move it. Knew this sword would be good for something. Where is that water coming from? But, well, at least we shall not die of thirst. That is better than nothing. What? Oh no, do not be ridiculous. No, the water will drain away. We have nothing to fear. It simply means that my route out of this place will no longer work. Fine. And what else can we do? What are you sitting there growling about now? I noticed that my boots are wet, my feet are sore, that it is becoming increasingly cold in here and... Rising? What, the water? No, it can't possibly. I believe you may be right. Look, here. The water was not so high a moment ago, and now it laps against that gap in the rock. Is this water going to fill this space? What are we going to do? No, what are we going to do? I can swim, but I cannot hold my breath forever. We have to find a way out of here. We have to find a way out of here right now. No, we do not have time to waste. If this crevice fills with water, then the pair of us are done for. We have to come up with a plan, and we must do it now.